Welcome back to the channel. This is ASA Studio, a channel for music producers and photographers. In this channel, we talk about editing photos and so many kind of Photoshop tutorial and Capture One tutorial, and also music producers tips and trick and how to make beat and the rest of all in this channel. That's what we do. Now today we'll be looking at how to edit your raw images in Photoshop. We kind of use my two go-to in editing is Capture One and Photoshop. So today is a Photoshop tutorial, and let's just dive into what we have for the day. So this is a raw image I downloaded from Free Raw Photos, and I feel like, yeah, let's use this one for the tutorial. And this is an amazing image of a couple, taking out their wedding pre-shoot. And I just want to point out some few editing steps I would take if I was to be the one editing for a client. So let's dive right into it. Now I'm just going to observe what's in the photo, and then we make adjustments. Note, this is a photo. If at all you actually the one that snapped it, took the photo, you don't have to change much, just little. Nobody's asking you to change the photo. We are just asking you to just remove what is not needed in the photo. So now let's look, and as we edit, we keep on removing what is not needed there. So we can see that there's dirt all over the places. I'm just going to undo that quickly, so and use this tool. So you can see dirt all over, and from our shoe I see that this is the light, the reflection of the light, so we're not going to touch that either. And we're just trying to make the subject pop out the more, so we can decrease the brightness of the background and then make the image pop out the more. And we can also make it a little bit darker, so with that we can actually make the image more looking more stunning. So let's just dive with the first step. Now I'm just going to duplicate this one by pressing Ctrl J, and then I'm going to name it couple. Enter. So let's make it the first one. This one is our reference, so I'm just going to double click on that and just rename it reference. Yeah, okay, so let's start with this one. Now we're just going to use we can use the clone stamp tool, or we can use this one, so whichever tool works best. I would like to use the patch tool. So patch tool, and then I'm just going to draw just this line like this, and then I'm going to move it to where, oh come on, to match this side. So I'm going to leave it, and then I'm going to do for this also. I'm just going to move it to where we see it's actually looking good. So I'm just going to keep on doing that. And for this one, take it back just like that. Let's just leave it that way, and just a little bit to adjustments we can make. So push it right here, and I'll just do this also, push it right here. So this is just little adjustment we'll be making, not again. Okay, all right. So I feel there are some dirt here. I'm just going to circle this and then just move it somewhere similar. Same thing with this one, move to somewhere similar. Same thing with this one, circle with your patch tool, then just kind of drag inside like this, then drag inside and then move it. So we're trying to remove what we don't need from the image. So we're not changing the image, we're just changing this is the reflection of our leg, so I think we're going to leave that. All right, so after that. You can see this dot right here. I'm just going to circle that, and then I'm also going to move it to somewhere like this. I'm going to move it up. Okay, Control Z, Control Z. Let's try it again. This time let's draw it like this. Okay, and then we move it to up. Draw this like this. Move it somewhere similar. I'm just going to draw on this one like this, on this one, and then move to somewhere similar. Make sure it's actually straight and balanced, so like that. So let's keep doing that. This one, I'm just going to do this. So let's see where we can actually move it to. So we'll move it somewhere similar like this. Looks good to me. Same thing with this one. Yeah, so can actually move it to somewhere similar. It's a nice long pole. So I'm just going to drag it, and we have that. So you can see all this side being rusty, but we can just leave it. I like to fix just some distracting parts of the image, and I wonder where that's going to fit in, but I guess we can actually make it fit like this. So we're good with that. So one more thing, just to make that place look real, I'm gonna do it like this. My mouse, and then take it up to that. So we're good with the editing. So let's see our before and then after. So this is before, and then this is after. Just little changes matters a lot. So I'm also going to do this one, and then oh god, sometimes you have little challenges. All right, so now after that, let's go to the next step. So the next step is to let's cancel. I didn't press that. Make the background darker and not the subject. So let's get right into that. So I'm just going to create a new adjustment, and let's start with the exposure, or let's analyze the curves we have. So the curve is actually going to show. Okay, so we have a lot of dark than the highlight. So we can brighten that up, and then we're going to bring up the couple, but we need to bring down the background, and that's what we want to do. So I'm just going to drag this one and then delete it. We're bringing down the background, we're bringing up the couple. So let's start with exposure 2, and then change the tool brush. So bring down the gamma, so somewhere like this. I need a cool evening look, and I don't want it to affect the couple. So cool evening look. I'm going to bring it back a little bit, just down a little bit, and let's see how we're going to select the subject. So let's turn it off, and then let's select the subject. So go to select subject, and Photoshop is actually, so as you can see, Photoshop have selected the subject for us. So let's go to the exposure, and then we're going to fill it with black. I didn't double click that, did I? Oh god, cancel. So just hit Shift F5 for the shortcut, and then we're filling it with black, and then boom. So Control Z, Control deselect, and then we have this. So I'm just going to turn off the show. So this is what we have right now. It's just too much. So we're going to click the properties, Windows properties of that, and then I'm going to increase just the feather a little bit. and decrease the density. Okay, so we have something. Let's decrease the density a little bit, and then we have that. So let's see. Yeah, dark and this. So bringing them out of the spotlight, I'm still going to decrease the density just a bit. So that looks good to me. Now the couples are, more, decrease the density of that. I'm just going to grab the brush tool and then I'm going to clean. I'm going to remove this part we mistakenly selected. So the foreground color white, yeah, and black X. Just click X and then I'm just going to remove this part from the mask. So flow 100%, and just going to remove that like that. Okay, so we have this as our before and then after. Okay, so let's continue just a little bit of touch. And now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use some color balance. Okay, so let's use some color balance first of all and see what we can do. So on the color balance, click on the color balance layer. So as we can see on the color balance, what color is actually, I just want to put in more blues on the clothes, on the man's clothes. So let's see. Oh, come on. Can't do. My mouse is just too sensitive and it's just kind of giving me issues. So I need some blues on the man's clothes, not on the picture. So I'm just going to hold down Alt and then copy the mask. Hold down Alt, copy the mask on this one, replace, yes. So invert the mask there, cancel, Control I to invert the mask. So let's see if we actually made any adjustment. Yeah, so now you can see that the blue color is actually matching that of the sky already, unlike before it's not, it's just kind of off. But now you can see that with the waters it's just actually blue. So let's cancel that and then let's continue. So I'm just going to click on this one and then let's see what we can do. I don't just increase it just a little bit to 38, and then I'm going to go to the highlight and you can see, okay, so the highlight, I'm going to make this one 0 because I mistakenly hit 0 there. I want to zoom in. Okay, so let's introduce more blues and yellow. Yeah, okay, that would be for the face. So I just want the color of their dress to pop out the more. So this looks fine to me. Don't worry about their skin right now. I'm going to adjust that in a bit. So this one 0. Let's go to the shadows. Okay, so just a little bit of blue plus 5, and then I'm going to decrease the green. Okay, have more, just a little bit of red. So zoom out, then we have that. So we're actually doing some color grading here. So let's check our before and then after. So now you can see their skin is actually too red, I guess too red. So let's go in there and look for where we actually fixing too much red. And the shadows, did we put on the highlights? Nope. So let's remove from the shadows the red we actually fixing. But the red, okay, we're just going to erase it about. Let's leave it. Let's go to the brush tool and then on the mask. So with black, we're going to erase, yeah, erase it with black. So hit X on the keyboard and then let's see. Oh, that skin tone is not even actually okay for me. So I'm just gonna hit Ctrl Z again, Ctrl Z. Okay. So I feel like it's actually okay for me like this. Not too much red, but if the saturation is too much, you can actually desaturate it. So let's go to the saturation, and then the background, same as the background. Oh, come on, cancel. Let's look for the property of this mask. Window properties, and then let's increase the density. Yeah, something like that. So we're good with that. Okay, so now what I want to do, I want to decrease the saturation of the background, but do I like it? I think it's actually perfect like this. There's no need to decrease the saturation. Let's just try it out first. Decreasing the saturation. Nope. I think I like it more colorful the way it is. Okay. Yeah, so we can decrease the brightness, the lightness of it. So just copy the marks and then boom, replace. Yes. Oh no, not like that. Alt, hold down Alt and then drag it on top, and then yes, replace marks. So let's see, it's actually going to be visible on the brighter side. So Control I to invert the mask, and then let's decrease the feather back. Close the property window and then open the saturation. So I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. So this actually making the photo pop. So if you can see before and then after, so you can actually bring it down just a bit. And now the image, we can also increase the saturation just a bit. Okay, so actually ended up color grading that. Let's continue. So what we need to introduce more again is the curve. Let's see what the curve to create contrast. So we have the more darker part there. So bringing the image, this kind of what is it called? The X curve, which is contrast. Yeah, contrast. So this is actually too much right now. We all know that. So let's decrease the opacity or the fill to somewhere around the opacity is not even functioning. Zoom out. Did we even do something at all? Oh yes, we did. Okay, so just the opacity just a little bit, like so. But for the man's leg, let's see, maybe we can actually bring that up. So the darker part. So let's go to color balance. Is it color balance or selective color? I think we should have black there on the selective color. Let's turn this one on. Selective color. Yeah, the blacks. So not this one. Back. Not the red. I think the default. We can use this one then. Can use this one. I was thinking, yeah, we can. Okay. I wanted to bring up. I'm just gonna delete that. Okay, going down. So let's group everything together. Hold down Shift and then to this. Yeah. Group them together. Cancel. Group them together. Oh my god. Seriously? Group them. My mouse giving me issues, sorry about that. So we came from here to here on Photoshop. So if you feel like we went too dark, we can actually look for what actually caused it. So I feel the exposure is actually too dark, and I'm just going to reduce the gamma just a little bit, like so. So that looks perfect to me. I'm going to close it. My color balance, okay, I'm going to check that. So we're good. We blended the color with the background, so we have it like this, corrected the color. And let's see more on hue and saturation. So before hue and saturation, just to correct the background. Okay, so there's something I really need to focus on here. So let me turn it back on. I feel the woods needs to be brighter too for the color balance, because for the hue and saturation. So to make it different, so I'm just going to click on the mask and then grab the brush tool, increase the brush size. So for the last step, and let's try out something. Let's try and make this place bright like this and see if it's not good. Is that okay? Yeah, I feel like that's actually okay. So Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Let's do it with low. Okay. So now let's continue with the brush tool and then the flow 14%. I'm just going to zoom in and then I'm just going to paint over with black where I don't want, just to create this real impression that the light is actually reflecting on them. So something like this actually okay. So just some places. All right, so we're done with that. And then this one for the curve, what did we do with the curves? Create a little contrast on the curve and boom. So from here to here. So look how much we've actually, how far we've actually gone. So I'm just actually going to stop. If you feel like the saturation is too much, you know what to do. If you feel you want to correct the skin tone, of which I can do that easily in what's it called, Capture One. But I feel like the woman has actually played with the water already, because if you see her hand here, it's actually different from this one. So I guess something like that took place. If not, we can actually correct that. So let's see if we can. Let's just create hue and saturation and then select with the slider this part of our body. So we have that. So I'm just going to increase. So that's selected. I'll actually move the slider to where we feel, yeah, the part, the only that side is actually selected. So I feel we still need to go forward here, somewhere there. Okay, so I'm going to spread it out, spread this one out, and let's see about this one and this one. If I bring it closer or bring it expanded. Okay, so I'm going to bring this one back just a little bit. Okay, we have this side. Let's see about this. No, closer, and this, take it closer. Try to select. Okay, so that is actually okay. So reset this one to 0, and now we're going to adjust the slider because we've actually selected this part. So adjusting the slider, I guess this part and this part is just the lightness difference. So if we increase the lightness, you can see the difference is that just the difference is the skin. this side and this side is actually light. So you can actually do that manually, or try to fix in what is actually there. So I'm just going to make this one 0, and you can see that it's just a lightness problem that is actually there. So but not everything is actually adjusted. So let's just see, just quick before, okay, and then after lightness issue. So I'm just going to decrease the opacity just like so, 50%, and then I'm going to turn it off and on so you can see the difference. So let's make it appear also on this side. I'm just going to grab in the brush tool and then on the mask. Okay, it's not actually on the mask. Okay, but it's actually make a very big difference though. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Just don't want to change things. Alright, so this will be the end of the tutorial. If you enjoy, if you actually gain something from what we did, you can hit the like button, and for more videos coming in, turn on the notification buttons, because we'll be posting others, other type of tutorial. For if you are new to the channel, this is ASAS Studio, where we make videos or tutorials about music and photography. So once again, thank you for staying tuned. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to share. See you in our next video. Keep editing photos. ASAS. Love you all. Thank you.